I play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes get wiped out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, welcome back with another episode with your boy. You already know, Iceman and Eskimo. And I'm going to talk about the preseason. Before game one, which is tomorrow, which you'll probably see this episode tomorrow. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to give you my thoughts, give you what I think a little bit. You know what I mean? My thoughts, what I'm thinking. Not what I think, what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? And we're going to go from there. You know what I mean? So, I like what I seen in preseason, the way the offense ran, and how things are going to go going forward. Certain lineups, certain people, doing certain things, certain ways. You know what I mean? All right, let's get into it. So, here's what I like. I like Ben pushing the pace transition. I like Jalen Wilson pushing the pace. I like Jalen Wilson in transition. We don't have Nick Claxton. We don't have Trendon Watford. They didn't play, but I know they're going to be transition guys, right? So I like Ben being aggressive. I like Ben in dribble handoffs. I like Ben making the bounce passes. And I do think Day'Ron Sharpe in half court is going to make those same plays to players who's cutting, like bounce passes and stuff like that. I think Day'Ron Sharpe can handle that and set screens. This is a big point I'm about to make. When this team does not have a guy like Ben Simmons or Day'Ron Sharpe to set consistent screens and make it, the offense becomes more difficult for them. Keep that in mind. All right. So, yeah. So Cam Johnson can be used as a hub also. Pass from the free throw line. He's pretty good at passing. Is very underrated at when he stands still and makes a pass in that area. He did it last year and he did it in preseason. So he can be used as a hub for passing. And Trendon Watford, I'm not sure about Watford in the free throw line as a hub, but I know he's pretty good for dribble handoff. So, like what I'm saying, like the offense should work with certain people doing certain things, right? So you'll get to see that. If you haven't seen it already, just pay attention because I'm telling you what's finna to go down, right? Ben Simmons dribble handoff, Nick Claxton dribble handoff, Trendon Watford dribble handoffs. Those three guys are gonna constantly hit dribble handoffs, right? So, this is a stat I got from Nets Kingdom. So shout out to Nets Kingdom for this stat, right? The Nets in preseason was 14th in 3-point percentage at 32% as a team. So they was 14th. And 13th in fast break points as a team. So that tells you that even though you don't have the players that you want all on this roster right now, even with the pieces you got, his offense works, right? He has a strategy. It might not look the best right now. It might not be. The players still have to work out the kinks. But that tells you that his strategy actually works. There is a plan, right? So what I'm going to say about certain players doing certain things. Jalen Wilson. I like Jalen Wilson in transition. I like him spotting up threes. Here's what I have a problem with Jalen Wilson doing. And the rest of the team doing. It's not just Jay Wills, but for him particularly, I would love if he just beat his man off the dribble and just go up. Because most likely the way that he is, he's strong. He's not very athletic. He's not very bouncy. So most of the time he's going to draw contact and he's going to get a foul. I'd rather than him do that than kick it out, right? You know what I'm saying? Ben driving and kick it out, that's cool. But I don't like them getting all the way to the rim and kicking it out. If you dribble a little past the free throw line, one step past the free throw line, kick it out, that's cool. But if you're already at the rim, go up. Dunk, lay up, get fouled, something. They gotta start being aggressive in that way. Jordy, I know you want them to shoot the threes, and that's cool, but some guys just shouldn't be allowed to kick it back out like Jalen Wilson. I think Jalen Wilson would consistently get to the line if he just went up strong when he goes to the rim. Right now, defense, defense and lineups. Nick wasn't playing, so the defense is not going to look that great. Dayron wasn't playing. Ben is not a center. He could spell you a couple of minutes at center, but he's not a center. He's not going to block shots high. He'd rather strip the ball. IQ telling him to go low for the ball first, swipe at the ball before they go up with it. So he's not really blocking shots overhead, right? No, Clowney's not a center. And I know we didn't have our guys, but he's not a center either. Spell you a couple minutes, but that's not where you want him at. Just looking at the way it is right now, the way it ran in those 4 games, nah, right? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? Couple minutes is cool, but for a full game and him and Ben, no, it doesn't work. So what I'm thinking is, my thought process is, if he wants his offense to run at a like a well-oiled machine, Ben has to have the ball in transition to push the pace all the time. Dennis Schroeder in half court is pretty good. Keon Johnson in half court is pretty good. Tyrese Martin in half court, pretty good. And I will say this about Tyrese Martin. I think Tyrese Martin needs to take Jalen Wilson's role as far as being able to create for himself and go to the cup and kick out. I think Tyrese Martin could go to the cup and kick out, or go to the cup. He has more of an offensive game than I think Jalen Wilson does. And I think he's a better creator than Jalen Wilson. Not by much, but I think he's good enough to do that, right? So I think he should be allowed to create if he's going to get any playing time. But I think he should be allowed to create, and Jalen Wilson just needs to take his man and go to the cup and get fouled. You know what I mean? So Tyrese Martin can shoot mid-range and all that. Zaire Williams is, he is an agitator on defense. I like it. But he's no center either. I know we don't have, I'm going to keep repeating. I know we didn't have centers, but he is no center either, not even for a small ball 5 center. I prefer you put Clowney than Zaire. Bro, if you play him at the 5, then you could play him at the 4, right? You could create lineups with him at the 4. So I don't want y'all to think he's just the 3, because clearly they're playing him at center. So he can play the 4. He rebounds pretty good. And what I'm going to say is, there's enough ball. The lineups with the ball handlers, y'all know what lineup that is. It ain't the starting lineup. The other lineup that had Shake Milton, Tyrese Martin, Jalen Martin, that lineup put up some points. I can't give you the stats, but I know they put up some points because it was easier to create for them, right? The better ball handlers, and they're not even like the best ball handlers in the world. They're decent, and it still worked out for them not having a center, right? So that tells you, if you put multiple guys in lineups that can handle the ball, you can be successful, right? You just got to get that guy that can do that and make things work. But I say, if they was 13th in fast break points in 4 games, and Ben was playing center, not his point guard or point forward all the time, anybody could bring it up. If you put the ball legitly in his hands all the time, that number is going to go to from 13 probably to like 5th. You know what I mean? Somewhere high like that, because he's going to push the pace. And I said it before on Breezy's podcast. Shout out to my guy, big fan Breezy. I believe Ben needs to, not that I don't think he should start, right? It's not about I don't think he should start. I just see like the younger guys more need his IQ than, you know what I'm saying, your Cam Johnson and that. But they still need Ben too, because he makes the game easier for them, setting picks and all that good stuff. But the younger dudes, for their IQ to rise up this season, just to explain, right? When I think it was the last game that they played against Toronto. So Ben gave Noah Clowney some quick. He pushed the pace, found Noah Clowney, and Noah Clowney got stuck when the ball came to him. First, he didn't know it was coming. Second, when he got it, then he was like, "Oh, like I got the ball, like shit, right?" And then he thought about shooting. It's too late. So that's what I mean. Like when you see Jalen Wilson, when Jalen Wilson get the ball from Ben, he's pulling the trigger or he's driving like immediately. That's where like somebody like Noah Clowney and Keon Johnson, on Tyrese Martin, all the younger guys need to learn. Like when I have a guy like this or any point guard that likes to push the pace and do things ahead without set defenses, like I need to be prepared to drive or shoot immediately or get an assist back, give it back to him and let him, you know what I'm saying? Like start the ball movement. That's why I say that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't think Ben should start, because I do believe he should start. And I'm curious to see how him and Nick Claxton going to work in this offense. And I do think like they're going to be setting picks on the wings, him and Ben on opposite wings. And they're going to go from there, start the ball movement and see what happens. If it gets clogged, it gets clogged. You know what I mean? He going to have Coach Jordy's going to have to adjust, right? It ain't my job to tell him how to do his job, but you know what I mean? If he got to take Ben out, he got to take Ben out. If he got to take Clax out, if he got to take Clax out. You know what I mean? If he got to start the game 3 minutes with those two in, then that's what he got to do. You know what I mean? And switch it up and keep them separated until like certain moments where he wants defense and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm interested to see who plays, how they play, how it works, and all that good stuff. You heard? I'm interested. And by the way, I keep telling y'all that the G League team is gonna, I ain't mean to get off subject, but the G League team gonna have some fire. The G League team might actually be fun. Before I get back on the Summer League, bro, the G League team got some players down there, bro. And I ain't lying to you. If they run the same offense in the G League and they happen to get a few big men that can set picks and can run down there, bro, I'm trying to tell you, that G League team, if they could put it all together, they might they might average like 110 points or better. You know what I mean? I ain't lying to you. Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking from what the names that I see and the players down there. They can average like 110 or better, you know what I mean, in the G League. So, and don't be surprised if one of these guys get called up, bro, on the two ways, like Jackie, Tyrese Martin, Jalen Martin. Don't be surprised if one of these guys get called up because they hooping. They got players down there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna repeat it again. They got players down there. So don't think the G League is just the Nets looking for folks. The Nets got some folks. They just gotta step, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever it is they gotta do to get up on the NBA floor, defense, offense, you know what I mean? Shooting, passing, whatever they need to work on, that's the time they need to take to work on it. Because I don't think too many veterans are leaving. I mean, it might be two. So there might be 2 extra spots or something. Somebody gets a playing time, more and more playing time towards the end of the season. But it's gonna be fun down there. Trust me. I already mentioned it on my last one, but it's going to be fun. All right, so back to the preseason. Back to the preseason, bro. Let me not get distracted from the mission. You heard? But I think Jordy does have a good system right now. I honestly do. And like I said before on Breezy, my guy, big fan Breezy, I said on his podcast before, it's going to be very, very similar to Jock Vaughn's system. Because when you run and gun, that's the type, like I said, Jock Vaughn had the right idea, but he did not execute, right? Didn't execute it. He put too much on Ben. Like he needed Ben to make the system work. And without that, he was kind of lost. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how it's supposed to be. If you take Ben out of Jordy's system, it can still work. You know what I mean? Even with Dennis Schroeder, it might not work as well, right? But it can still work. You know what I'm saying? So Ben doesn't make the system work. He just makes it work better because of the skill set that he has, right? But Dennis Schroeder can make it work the way it's supposed to work. You know what I mean? Like I say, they don't have all the right players yet, but when they do, it's gonna be a good system. Right players, right skill sets, and get where they gotta go. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I do think like Trendon Watford, he should bring the ball up at times because like another thing I noticed in his offense, the guys with high energy, Jalen Wilson's and Zaire Williams and somebody like Trendon Watford when he's on the break, when he's trying to push pace. Excuse me. Guys like that work good in this offense. I noticed that too. High energy guys work good in this offense, and they work good with certain lineups, right? Certain guys. Some guys work better with Ben. Some guys got to learn. Some guys work better with Schroeder. But like again, you still got to learn. Like you got to learn Dennis Schroeder's style. You got to learn Ben's style. You got to, you know what I mean? You got to learn your teammate. So this preseason, I seen it as they still learning. I'm not judging anybody like off their mistakes or, you know what I'm saying, how many times this person did this and that. The only reason I said that about Jalen, because I think he could average more points if he go up strong when he goes to the cup, and I think he'll get fouled and he'll get his free throws. So that's why I said that about Jalen. But I don't knock him. I don't knock him. Anything that I seen this preseason 4 games, probably for this season, I'm not gonna knock anybody. You know what I mean? Everybody got to learn. It takes time to learn the offense. Everybody got to find a groove. I still think they're going to be a bad team, but I still think it's going to be fun, right? Because the team is a little more athletic. You know what I mean? And they got a little bit more ball handlers, not too many Cam Johnsons, right? Not too many. You know what I'm saying? They got a little bit more ball handlers than specialty guys. So I still think it's going to be fun, especially because that first game versus the Clippers, they had a lot of dunks. They had a lot of backdoor cuts. See, you know what I'm saying? That's probably like the most dunks I've seen the Nets get in a while. So I do think if they run the style, like, because I noticed too that they changed styles of versus certain teams. You know what I mean? Because the versus the Clippers, they got a lot of cuts. They was cutting, moving, and getting dunks and easy layups one after another. Once they got rolling, it was just like layups, dunks. And then they started going to driving this, shoot the three. You know what I mean? And they ain't really get too many dunks. But I did notice that 3 people, if I'm correct, Zaire, Noah Clowney, and Keon Johnson. Those 3 guys had dunks every game that they played. If I'm correct, I think it's those 3 had dunks every game that they played. You know what I mean? So that tells me, bro, like, if you athletic in this offense, you can get to the rim, you're going to get a dunk. And Nets fans needs more dunks in a life. You know what I mean? Trendon Watford, if you listening to your boy, the Eskimo, bruh, play above the rim. Leave the below the rim stuff for Jalen Wilson, bruh. Play above the rim. You know what I mean? You heard? You're a power forward. Small ball center at times. Play above the rim, buddy. We need you to do that. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, I still think it's a good system with players. And once you get the guys in here, it might be a great system. If you get the right guys, it might be a great system. You know what I mean? The 3-point shooting I get, but if you got guys that could get to the rim, let them get to the rim. The foul line is our friend. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Get to the foul line, get the calls, and that's our friend. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got for y'all right now. And you know how my saying goes. You don't gotta like, you don't gotta subscribe, because I don't know anything. You heard? Holla.